The social media alert popped up on my phone as I looked over important papers in my big office in New York City. I almost didn't check it, but the first few words made me stop. Finally blocking my difficult sister. Our family is better without her drama. I tapped the alert and read Lisa's full message. Below her statement, Lisa had written a few paragraphs about how some people never grow up, never take charge, and how removing difficult family members from your life helps you. The message already had many likes and kind comments from friends and family. People were praising her for setting limits and finding peace. I leaned back in my comfy chair and looked out at the city lights. I was 26, and my sister still thought of me as the family failure who hadn't done anything important. She had no idea that the woman she was calling difficult in public was actually the head of Bright Future Solutions, the same company that had just offered Lisa the marketing job she'd wanted for 2 years. I didn't reply to the post. I didn't argue or defend myself. Instead, I picked up my phone and made one call. "Hello, Mark. It's Amanda. I need you to cancel the job offer we sent to Lisa Green yesterday." 3 years ago, I started Bright Future Solutions with money I saved from making websites for people. What began as just me grew into a full-service digital marketing company with many employees and a lot of money coming in each year. My family knew none of this. To them, I was still the college dropout who spent all her time on computers. They thought I was barely getting by as a freelance web designer, living paycheck to paycheck in my small city apartment. They never asked about my work beyond polite dinner talk. When I mentioned getting new clients, they just nodded sadly and changed the subject. They saw my business talk as either showing off or dreaming too big. Lisa, especially, had always seen me as the careless little sister who wouldn't grow up and get a real job. She worked in old-style marketing for a medium-sized company, earning a good salary, and always telling me about needing a steady job. "You can't just rely on small freelance jobs forever, Amanda," she'd say during family dinners. "At some point, you need to think about your future. This computer stuff isn't a real career." I'd just smile and nod, not saying that my small freelance jobs made more money than her whole department. The funny thing was, Lisa was actually very good at marketing. When Bright Future Solutions started looking for a marketing director 6 months ago, I had secretly suggested her to our HR team. She went through the same interview process as everyone else, competing against many other people. She got the job because of her skills and experience. Yesterday, our HR director, Mark, had called Lisa with the good news. The job came with a great salary, full benefits, and the chance to lead marketing for one of the fastest-growing companies in the area. Lisa had been thrilled. She had called our parents right away, then posted on social media about getting her dream job at an exciting tech company. She had no idea she'd just been hired by her difficult sister. After reading Lisa's post this morning, I called Mark into my office. "I need you to cancel the job offer we sent to Lisa Green yesterday." Mark looked confused. "Lisa Green, Amanda? Her references were great, and the team liked her. Is something wrong?" "There's a problem that just came to my attention." "What kind of problem?" "She's my sister." Mark's eyes opened wide. "Your sister? But her last name is Green, and yours is Smith. I use my mother's maiden name for work. Lisa and I have different fathers. Having a family member work for the company isn't always a problem." "Mark, she doesn't know I own this company. She thinks I'm a struggling freelance web designer. She doesn't know you're the CEO. My family has no idea what I actually do for a living." Mark sat down, thinking about this. "That's actually pretty amazing that you've kept this a secret for 3 years. It wasn't planned at first. I just never corrected their wrong ideas. So what's the problem?" I showed him Lisa's social media post. Mark read it silently, his face changing from confusion to understanding. "Oh," he said quietly. "Oh, wow. I can't have a senior employee who publicly calls me difficult and says the world is better without me. Even if she doesn't know she's talking about her boss, that creates a bad situation. Call her and cancel the offer. Tell her the job has been removed because of budget changes." "Are you sure about this?" "I'm sure. She made her feelings about me very clear." Mark nodded and left my office. 30 minutes later, he knocked on my door. "It's done. I called Lisa and told her the job had been removed due to unexpected money problems. How did she take it?" She was heartbroken. She asked if there might be other chances later, and I told her we'd keep her information. Over the next few hours, I watched Lisa's social media activity grow. First, she posted about the job offer being taken back, calling it heartbreaking and a sign that the universe is testing her. The same people who had supported her decision to block me were now offering sympathy. Several relatives suggested that her job loss was somehow my fault, that my bad energy was affecting her, even from far away. My cousin Ben commented, "This is why you were right to cut Amanda out. Difficult people bring bad luck even when they're not around." Around 3 p.m., my mother called me. "Amanda, I just saw Lisa's messages about losing that job. She's really upset." I saw the messages too, Mom. She thinks maybe you somehow caused it. I know that sounds silly, but she's looking for someone to blame. She's blaming me for her job being canceled? Well, she's been having a hard time lately, and when people are stressed, they sometimes look for someone to blame. So I'm the scapegoat for Lisa's career problems? Amanda, you know how Lisa is. She gets dramatic when things don't go her way. Mom, did you see what she posted about me this morning? I saw something about blocking difficult family members. I thought you two had another argument. We didn't argue. She just decided to publicly announce that the family is better off without me.
Mom was quiet for a moment. Amanda, I'm sure she didn't mean it personally. How do you not mean something like that personally? You know, Lisa, she posts dramatic things when she's upset. So it's okay for her to call me difficult, but I'm somehow responsible for her job falling through? Maybe you could reach out to her. She's having a really hard time right now. I almost laughed. Mom, she literally just blocked me and announced that the family is better off without me. Why would I reach out to her? But you're sisters. Family is more important than social media drama. Is it? Because Lisa seems to think our family is better without me in it. Amanda, don't be petty. I'm not being petty, Mom. I'm respecting Lisa's clearly stated wishes. At 5 p.m., I received a text from Lisa's number, which surprised me since she'd claimed to have blocked me. Amanda, I know we're not talking, but I really need someone to vent to. The job I was supposed to start on Monday just got canceled. Can you call me? I stared at the message for several minutes. The same person who had announced that morning that the family was better off without me was now reaching out for emotional support. I texted back, "I thought you blocked me because I was too difficult." That was just social media drama. This is real life. I really need my sister right now. Lisa, you literally posted this morning that the family is better without me. Why would you want support from someone you described that way? Amanda, that wasn't about you specifically. I was just venting about family stress in general. I took a picture of her text and compared it to her social media post. Lisa, you specifically said blocking my difficult sister and family is better without her. How is that not about me specifically? You're being way too sensitive. It's just social media. So when you need something from me, it's just social media. But when you wanted to embarrass me publicly, it was important enough to write 3 paragraphs about it? Amanda, I'm really struggling right now. Can we please not do this? Lisa, I think you were right this morning. Maybe the family is better off without the drama. I blocked her number and went back to my reports. Over the next week, Lisa posted daily updates about her job search, each one more desperate than the last. She had turned down 2 other offers while waiting for the Break Future position, and now she was looking in a much smaller group of jobs. Several relatives continued to blame her career problems on my supposed bad influence, even though I hadn't spoken to Lisa in months. On Thursday, my mother called again. Amanda, Lisa is really struggling with this job situation. She's wondering if maybe you could ask around in your computer contacts to see if anyone needs marketing help. I almost laughed out loud. My computer contacts? You know, the people you make websites for? Maybe one of them needs marketing help. Mom, you want Lisa to ask for help from the difficult sister who brings drama? Amanda, she didn't mean that seriously. She seemed pretty serious when she wrote 3 paragraphs about it. Family helps family, Amanda. Do it because Lisa made it very clear that I'm not really family. She said the family is better without me. You're being stubborn. I'm being consistent. Lisa wanted me out of her life, so I'm respecting her wishes. The following Monday, Lisa posted a new message. I've been thinking about family lately and the importance of not ruining relationships over small problems. Sometimes we say things that don't show how we really feel. I want to apologize to anyone I may have hurt with my recent posts. An hour later, I received a text. Amanda, I posted an apology. I know I was wrong to say those things. I was stressed and upset, and I took it out on you unfairly. Can we please talk? That evening, I decided to call her. Lisa, I saw your apology post. Amanda, I'm so sorry. I was having a terrible week, and I took it out on you. Lisa, what exactly were you stressed about when you wrote that post? Work stuff mostly, and I was frustrated with some family issues. What kind of family issues? Just feeling like some people in our family get more support than others. You think mom and dad worry about my career? They're always talking about how you're not doing your best and how you need more steady work. And you see that as a problem? Amanda, I'm not trying to judge your choices. I just think you're really smart and you could probably do amazing things if you found the right chance. What kind of chance? Maybe working for a tech company or a marketing agency or something that uses your computer skills but gives you more security. I realized Lisa's anger wasn't really about me being difficult. It was about feeling like our parents worried more about my supposed career problems than they celebrated her actual success. Lisa, can I ask you something? Sure. The job that got canceled, what company was it with? Bright Future Solutions. They're this amazing digital marketing company that's growing really fast. The CEO is supposed to be this brilliant young person who built the company from nothing. Sounds impressive. It really was. The salary was great, the benefits were amazing, and it would have been a huge step forward in my career. I took a deep breath. Lisa, I need to tell you something about that job. What do you mean? Bright Future Solutions is my company. The silence lasted nearly 30 seconds. What? She finally whispered. I'm the CEO of Bright Future Solutions. I started the company 3 years ago. That's impossible. Lisa, I own the company that offered you the marketing director position. But you're a freelance web designer. No, I'm the CEO of a multi-million-dollar digital marketing agency with many employees. Amanda, that doesn't make sense. You live in that tiny apartment. I choose to live simply because I prefer to put money back into the business. You're serious? Completely serious. So, when you applied for the job, you were applying to work for your difficult sister. Another long silence. Amanda, I had no idea. I know. That's exactly the problem. What do you mean, Amanda? For 3 years, you've said my work was just playing around with computers. You've lectured me about getting a real job. You've treated me like the careless little sister who can't get her life together. But I didn't know. You didn't know because you never asked. You made assumptions about my life without ever bothering to learn the details. If I had known you owned a company, I never would have. Would have what? Treated me with respect? Lisa, the fact that you only respect me now that you know I'm successful says everything. She was crying. Crying now. Amanda, I'm so sorry. The job offer was canceled because I couldn't have a senior employee who publicly called me difficult. You canceled my job offer? I canceled the job offer of someone who deeply disrespected the company, even if she didn't know the company was her sister. Amanda, please, I made a terrible mistake. Can't we fix this? Lisa, I spent 3 years building a successful business while you lectured me about getting my life together. I had the chance to hire my talented sister, and she responded by calling me difficult on social media. I didn't know it was you. That's exactly the point. You treated me poorly when you thought I had nothing to offer. Now that you know I'm successful, suddenly you want my forgiveness. That's not fair, is it? This morning, you thought I was a struggling freelancer who brought drama to the family. Now you know I'm a successful CEO, and suddenly you want my help. Amanda, what can I do to make this right? Lisa, I don't know if you can. You've spent years treating me like a failure and then publicly embarrassed me when you thought it was safe to do so. But we're sisters, are we? Because this morning you thought the family was better off without me. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Yes, you were. But being wrong and getting caught aren't the same as learning from your mistakes. What do you mean? I mean that you're sorry now because you found out I can help your career. But if I was actually the struggling freelancer you thought I was, would you be apologizing? She didn't answer immediately. Lisa, I don't know. I'd like to think I would have apologized anyway, but you don't know for sure? No, I don't know for sure. That's the problem, Lisa. Your respect for me depends on whether I can be useful to you. We talked for another hour about our family issues and the chance of fixing our relationship. Lisa's anger had been growing for years, based on her idea that our parents worried more about my career than they appreciated her success. Her social media post had been the result of years of frustration, but it had also shown how she saw me when she thought I was weak. Amanda, she said as our talk ended, is there any way I could still be considered for the marketing director position? Lisa, I can't hire someone who called me difficult, no matter if they knew I was the CEO, even if you apologize publicly and privately. It's not about apologies, it's about judgment. You decided to publicly embarrass someone you thought couldn't affect your career. That shows poor judgment that I can't ignore in a senior employee. So there's no way to fix this? There might be, but it would take time and real changes in how you act with people you think have less power than you. What kind of changes? Lisa, you need to think about why you felt comfortable publicly calling me difficult when you thought I was struggling, but you're begging for forgiveness now that you know I'm successful. I understand. Do you? Because I'm not sure you really get how this looks from my side. Help me understand, Lisa. Imagine if I had posted that you were difficult and the family was better off without you. Then imagine that later you found out I was in a position to help or hurt your career. How would you feel? I'd feel betrayed. Exactly. You'd wonder if I had been planning to hurt you all along. But you weren't planning to hurt me, were you? No, Amanda. I suggested you for the job secretly. I wanted you to succeed. Then why did you cancel the offer? Because after your post, I realized I couldn't have someone working for my company who had such deep disrespect for me. Amanda, I respect you. I just didn't understand your career. Lisa, respect isn't about understanding someone's career. Respect is about treating people with basic human kindness no matter what their situation is. You're right. Am I? Because if I had actually been the struggling freelancer you thought I was, would your post have been acceptable? No, it wouldn't have been acceptable no matter what. Then why did you post it? Because I was frustrated and stressed, and I took it out on someone I thought couldn't fight back. Her honesty was surprising. Lisa, that's exactly the problem. You chose to hurt someone you thought was powerless to respond. I understand that now. We ended the call with a plan to talk again in a few days. Over the next week, Lisa did something unexpected. She posted a detailed apology on social media, taking full responsibility for her past messages and admitting that she'd been wrong to publicly attack a family member. More importantly, she started volunteering with a local group that helped unemployed people find jobs. 3 weeks later, Lisa called me again. Amanda, I've been thinking about what you said about how I treat people I think have less power than me. And you were right. I've been thinking about other times where I've been rude to people I thought were below me professionally, such as the coffee shop worker who said she wanted to be a writer. I told her she should focus on realistic career goals. The intern at my old job who wanted to start his own business. I lectured him about getting experience first. How do you feel about those talks now? Terrible. I was putting my own worries about job stability onto people who were being creative and brave. What made you realize this? Working with the job search group, I've been helping people who are changing careers, and I've seen how much courage it takes to try different paths. I've also seen how damaging it can be when people dismiss their efforts. That's a big realization, Lisa. Amanda, I owe you more than an apology. I owe you respect for what you've done, and I owe you an admission that I was completely wrong about your life. I appreciate that. Is there any chance that we could fix our relationship? Not because I want something from you, but because I truly miss having you as my sister.
I thought about her question. Over the past month, I'd watched Lisa make real efforts to change her way of thinking and acting. Her apology had been public and clear. Her volunteer work showed she was serious about understanding different views. Lisa, I'd be willing to try fixing our relationship, but it would need to be based on mutual respect and honest talking. What would that look like? It would mean no more assumptions about each other's lives without asking for details. It would mean supporting each other's choices, even when we don't fully understand them. And it would mean taking responsibility for our actions. I can promise that. Lisa, I also want you to understand that I'm not going to pretend to be less successful than I am to make other people comfortable. I wouldn't want you to. That means our family is going to learn the truth about my business, and there might be some awkward talks. I think that's probably overdue. Are you ready to support me through those talks, even if it means admitting that you were wrong about me for years? Yes, I am. 2 months later, Lisa and I had lunch in downtown New York near the Bright Future Solutions offices. It was our fourth meeting since we'd started fixing our relationship, and the first one that felt completely natural. "How's the new job?" I asked. She'd found a position with a smaller marketing firm. "It's good. The pay isn't as high as the Bright Future job would have been, but the work is interesting. I'm glad you found something that fits." "Amanda, can I ask you something?" "Sure. Do you ever regret not telling our family about your success earlier?" I thought about it. Sometimes it would have been nice to have their support while I was building the company. "Why didn't you tell them?" At first, it was because I wanted to succeed on my own. But after a while, it became a way to see how people really saw me when they thought I had nothing to offer. And what did you learn? I learned that a lot of people's respect depends on how successful they think you are, including mine, including yours. But I also learned that some people can see their mistakes and change. Do you think our parents will react well when they find out? I don't know. Part of me worries they'll be hurt that I didn't trust them. Part of me worries they'll suddenly start treating me differently because they know I'm successful. When are you planning to tell them? Soon. I'm tired of hiding who I am. Would you like me to be there? Would you want to be there? Yes, I think I owe them an explanation for my behavior toward you, and I want to support you. I'd appreciate that. The following Sunday, Lisa and I drove to our parents' house in the quiet suburbs of New Jersey for what we told them would be an important family talk. "Girls, you've been so mysterious," Dad said as we sat down. "What's the big news?" I looked at Lisa, who nodded encouragingly. "Mom, Dad, I need to tell you something about my work that I should have shared a long time ago." I spent the next 20 minutes explaining Bright Future Solutions, our growth, our clients, and my role as CEO. I showed them our website and recent news articles. My parents sat in stunned silence. "Amanda," Dad finally said, "you're telling us you own a company worth millions? The company makes a lot of money each year, and you've been running this for 3 years?" "Yes." "While we've been worrying about your career and lecturing you about getting a real job?" "Yes." Mom started crying. "Honey, why didn't you tell us?" "Because I wanted to see how you'd treat me when you thought I had nothing to offer," Lisa spoke up. "Mom, Dad, Amanda is being polite. The truth is that we've all been rude to her for years because we thought she was failing professionally." "But we were just trying to help," Dad protested. "Were you?" I asked, because it felt more like you were trying to manage and control me. "Amanda, we had no idea what you were actually doing. Did you ask for details, or did you just assume I was failing and try to fix me?" They were both quiet. "Mom, Dad, I love you, but you've spent years treating me like the family disappointment. You made assumptions about my work and my future without ever asking me directly." "We're sorry," Mom said. "We should have asked more questions." "You should have. But more importantly, you should have trusted me to make good decisions about my own life." "What can we do to make this right?" Dad asked. "You can start by treating me like the successful adult I've been for the past 3 years, instead of the struggling child you thought I was. We're proud of what you've done. Are you proud of me, or are you proud of my success? What's the difference? The difference is whether your pride depends on my achievements or whether it's based on who I am as a person." Lisa nodded. "That's the lesson I had to learn too. I was only proud of Amanda after I found out she was successful. But I should have been proud of her for taking chances and following her own path no matter the outcome." "You're right," Dad said slowly. "We should have supported your choices even if we didn't understand them." "What happens now?" Dad asked. "Now we rebuild our family relationships based on honesty and mutual respect," I said. "No more assumptions, no more lectures about my life choices, and no more treating me like I need to be managed." Over the following months, my family slowly got used to the truth about who I really was. My parents started asking real questions about my business and showing interest in my work. They stopped offering unwanted career advice. Lisa and I developed a stronger relationship than we'd ever had before. She became one of my most trusted advisors, and I helped her move to a better job at a different company. The social media post that had started this whole situation became a turning point for our entire family. It forced us to face years of assumptions, bad communication, and conditional respect. 6 months later, Lisa posted a new message. I've learned that success comes in many forms, and the most important thing is supporting the people you love, no matter if you understand their choices. Proud of my sister for building something amazing and teaching me what real family support looks like. This time, I liked the post. Sometimes, the best way to save a relationship is to be willing to lose it first. And sometimes, the most difficult thing in a family isn't the person everyone blames, it's the assumptions that stop people from seeing each other clearly. My sister thought she was blocking a difficult family member. Instead, she ended up blocking her own dream job and forcing our family to face the truth about respect, assumptions, and what it really means to support each other. The irony wasn't lost on any of us. The sister she thought was holding her back was actually the one person who could help her move forward. But more importantly, the sister she thought was difficult turned out to be the most successful person in our family. Now she knows better.